Welcome to the Health Hobby Podcast, the place for busy moms searching for simple solutions to weight loss, more energy, better nutrition, fitness, and healthy living time management. I'm your host, Amanda Ford. Stick with me and make health your hobby as I guide you through simple steps and skill-building exercises so you can finally hit those dreamy health and weight loss goals. Take it from me, it's time to kick all those fad diets and quick fix workouts to the curb. It's all about slowing down and finding your very own rhythm of healthy living, because when you find your health, you find your joy. Let's dive in. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Health Hobby Podcast, the podcast for busy working moms looking to find tips, tricks, and strategies to finally hit their dreamiest weight loss and fitness goals. I'm Amanda Ford, a fellow full-time working mom who just loves all things nutrition, workouts, spiritual wellness, and I come on here each week to drop the latest and greatest so you can find success in all those areas. Let's dive in to today's episode. It's official. Holiday time is here. In fact, the day that this episode drops, it will be just a few days before Thanksgiving. And ladies, I love Thanksgiving so much. All the appetizers, drinks, laughing, football. I'm a major football fan. I'm just giddy as a little clam that I get to watch football all day and eat snacks. All the feasting, it's just a blast. I'm cooking this year, so I'm extra amped. I love cooking and baking for others. It's just gonna be such a great time. I gotta know, what is your favorite item on the Thanksgiving table? If you were to ask me, I would say my favorite appetizer is deviled eggs. Then on the dinner table, probably mashed potatoes. I struggle with that one. I really like cranberry sauce and green beans. And I know there's a lot of other sides that people eat. I love ham. I don't know, but I think ultimately it comes down to mashed potatoes. And for dessert, come on, apple pie and vanilla ice cream. Let's go. Okay. I know that people dig on pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving, but it's just not my fave. So I'm apple pie and vanilla ice cream kind of gal. But get down in the comments if you're listening on YouTube and let me know what you're looking forward to eating on this Thanksgiving or any Thanksgiving. You might not be listening to this during the holiday season, but I still am curious. If I can be super honest, all that food talk has officially made my mouth water. And on that note, let's jump in to today's episode. It's episode number 9, Thanksgiving week, your healthy holiday survival guide. In today's episode, you will learn how you can be successful by staying healthy during the holiday season, managing sweets, putting healthy foods first, staying active, and how to celebrate without overindulging. Before we get officially started, please help a sister out and click that subscribe button and the little bell if you're listening on YouTube so I know you're here listening. And be sure to follow the Health Hobby Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you never miss an episode. I'm feeling super cheery today because I know this episode's going to drop on the official week of holiday season beginning, and I just love that warm, cozy holiday feeling. So I hope you guys are already feeling that when you're listening to this episode. And if you're listening to this episode off holiday season, those are always good memories to kind of tap into. It makes you feel good. And let's get going on the holiday survival guide. The objective of today's podcast is to send you into the holiday season feeling armed with solutions for making smart nutrition choices, because there's so much food around the holidays. It is food centric, one might say. I also want to help you avoid or minimize holiday weight gain, and most importantly, help you align your holiday habits with long-term goals, especially for those of you who are aiming to start the new year strong. So what I mean is, if you're going into the new year with healthy living, weight loss goals, it's really smart to kind of start beforehand. And I don't want this episode to feel like a party pooper episode or a Debbie Downer episode. I don't want you to enjoy and eat and drink and be merry, but we need to do it in moderation and in a smart way. So I don't know about you, but I have an incredibly strong sweet tooth. And around the holiday time, we are bombarded with sweets. So holidays are often filled with cookies, chocolates, candy canes, fudge, breads, streusels, pies, fill in the blank. What is your favorite sweet treat? Ice cream. It's so delicious. But again, around the holidays, it's like an increase. It's concentrated and it's literally every day. We're getting sweet treats delivered to our house, to our offices, in the mail. We bake and create them for our own dinner tables and they just live on our counters, right? Maybe your neighbor brought over a can of cookies that they made. That is so sweet, but it's like sometimes I have 4 cans of cookies on my kitchen counter, which isn't the usual unless it's holiday season. So the influx of, dare I say, junk food. I know a lot of people say, don't call foods junk foods. Foods are foods, but these are junk foods. They are highly concentrated in refined sugars. And listen, you guys, they're delicious. You can eat them, but we got to do it in moderation. And that's really the key takeaway of this episode. And I'm going to share some tips and tricks for different things. Like, for example, we're going to start with I call it the sweet treat bomb. That is the holidays. Then we're just going to kind of go on from there. Talking about having an influx of sugary treats in the house, in the office, at church, literally everywhere is a big challenge for most people, including myself, around the holidays. Overeating these sweet treats can really set you up for potential holiday weight gain and also dig you into a deeper hole that you're going to have to work through if you're going into the new year with serious weight loss and fitness goals. And it might even set you back. Maybe you've been chugging along, working on your healthy living, cleaning up your eating. Overindulging in the holidays specifically may set you back on some really significant progress that you've already made this year. So just think about that before we're like shoving brownies in our mouth mindlessly. One way that you can work on keeping track of the amount of sweets that you're devouring, they're so delicious. I love sweets, you guys, is to track your treats. So be mindful of how many sweets you're actually eating. You can use an app or just the Notes app on your phone. It's so easy to lose track when sweets keep showing up at work or at holiday gatherings. A cookie here, a piece of fudge there, and suddenly it's added up to having a dessert with your coffee for breakfast, having a sweet treat as a snack in between breakfast and lunch, having a dessert after lunch and after dinner, and even maybe an extra sweet treat snack after dinner. There's just so much of it everywhere. So one simple way to stay aware is to write it down. Now, this is a cornerstone weight loss strategy. It's an absolutely required step if you're looking to lose weight, maintain weight, or even just clean up your eating habits. So if you're looking to go into the new year with weight loss goals, right now is the time to kind of trial run tracking your food, and you can do it with the sweets. This action alone will help you skyrocket weight loss and teach you to become aware of portion sizes and even become more in tune with how your body feels and responds to specific foods. It's such a great skill to have, and it does take some practice. It's a little bit of a routine that needs to be massaged. If we pick just one food to track, it can be a really easy way to kind of get your feet wet into tracking your entire meals for the day, which is what would be required of you if you're on a serious weight loss journey. It's a must-do skill set to learn, one that warrants its very own episode. But for the holidays, whether you're using a tracking app or even just mentally noting it, being mindful of what and how many sweet treats you've consumed in a day can keep you from going overboard. Again, super simple. Use a Google Doc that you can just pop open on your phone. I use MyFitnessPal. You don't really need MyFitnessPal for this, but if you're curious about the approximate amount of calories you're taking in with these sweet treats, it might be a really interesting experiment to use MyFitnessPal, just the free version is fine, to see how many calories you're taking in just with the sweet treats. And one thing to note here is that when people start to track their food, they tend to eat healthier, which is a great thing because they're like, oh, I don't want to track foods that aren't healthy, but it's okay to do that. It's actually really important. It's a learning process, and it's so much good information to track those things that aren't quote unquote healthy or that are junk food. So you can really see how they impact your day to day when you are eating them in excess or even just at all. So a really good example is I really like to get those chocolate muffins at Costco. They're so good. They're so good, you guys. One of those muffins, I think, is 450 calories. It's a bomb of sugar. But because I know how many calories they are, I like to quarter them. And then I know that I haven't completely busted my calorie intake for the day. And I didn't know that. I had to do some research. I don't even think it's on the box, but knowing that they're 450 calories when I only eat about 2,000 calories a day, that's a huge portion of my calorie budget. So that's why tracking your food, especially for weight loss, is crucial. So you kind of get a quantitative measurement of how the calories in a food can affect your goals in the end. And during the holiday time, we're just eating. It's enjoyable. It's lovely. It's memory making, but we absolutely can go overboard, and tracking your food, especially the sweet treats, can keep you on track. Overeating is the reason many of us gain weight over the holidays. I did some research to give you a figure about the average weight gain over the holidays, and I really wasn't able to get a solid number. It was anywhere from 3/4 of a pound to a full 5 pounds just in the 2-month holiday season. Yikes, that's a lot. Even though I didn't find the average weight, I did notice that there is a general trend of weight gain, especially around the holidays. So give yourself permission to indulge, but within boundaries. Maybe it's one cookie a day or one dessert per event, but setting a limit helps you enjoy without going overboard. So just like the tracking, maybe you say, hey, I'm not going to just cut out treats for holiday season. In fact, I would never ever tell any of my students that I was coaching through weight loss or any of my listeners to cut something out completely unless it's really causing you some harm medically, or you just feel so icky eating it. Those are reasons to cut food out. But ultimately, I don't believe in deprivation. I believe in moderation and becoming vigilant about what you're eating. So this is a good strategy, right? The tracking, we just talked about that, in setting your own personal boundaries on how much you're going to indulge in the cakes, the cookies, the candy canes, the caramel covered popcorn. Who loves the cans of popcorn? Oh my gosh, I just thought about that. You can just eat all that mindlessly, like standing in the kitchen, like having a conversation. You're like, holy crap, I just ate like the whole sleeve of the caramel popcorn. So setting yourself limits, getting a little dish and putting some of that popcorn in a dish, closing the can, putting it away. Those are really great tools and strategies to keep you from going overboard and staying on track. Another area that can really cause some unintentional weight gain or even just the icky, overindulgent feeling is alcohol intake. So I do recommend in this holiday survival guide, just like we just talked about with the sweet treats, limit your alcohol intake. So alcohol adds extra calories and leads to overindulging in, yes, not only more alcohol, but foods, right? Our inhibitions are reduced. We're just kind of free, when we intake a little bit more alcohol maybe than we should, and we start snacking. And again, all fun and joyous experiences in the holiday season. I want to challenge you to do something here. So I'm a big fan of mocktails. Bring a fun non-alcoholic drink to your holiday celebration, or maybe you're hosting. Have something that's not just plain bubble water. Make a fun cocktail that doesn't have alcohol in it, that still feels fun and festive, that can really bring the joy back into your holiday season. I know alcohol is a staple in our holiday celebrations, so I want you to bring the non-alcoholic drink and see how that plays over. And I'm sure a lot of people would really appreciate that, because some people just aren't feeling comfortable. They're like, oh, I have to bring a bottle of wine to this. No, you don't. You can do whatever you want. And if your health is at the forefront of your goals and the forefront of your mind and how you live your day, this is a completely acceptable party hostess gift. Like we bring something to bring to a party. So sometimes the extra calories don't come from food, you guys, but they come from drinks. So not even just alcoholic drinks like sodas or juices, right? Ciders. If you know you'll be at a party where drinks will be flowing, consider bringing your own non-alcoholic option. You'll feel better the next day and still get to enjoy yourself without the extra calories. So something I really like, this is simple, is the Pellegrino sparkling mineral water on ice with a splash of cranberry juice or a splash of lemonade. It's super easy and it's non-alcoholic and it feels like you're drinking a cocktail. especially if you dress it up in a really cute cocktail glass. Maybe you garnish it with something, but the only difference is you won't be completely smashed in the morning from a horrendous hangover, and you very well may have saved some unwanted calories from limiting your alcohol intake at that party. The holiday season is a busy time. I think that's an understatement, the word busy. It can be, although joyous and celebratory, it's hectic, and our workouts quickly get skipped because there's all these extra events to be at. There's extra cleaning to do in the house. There's more tasks to do for, preparing for your holiday celebrations in the home. You got to decorate your tree or put up your Hanukkah stuff. There's all types of things that are going on that don't usually happen during the usual year time. If you can't do your regular workout routine, or maybe you don't have one yet, do something short but effective. A quick 10-minute workout can still boost energy, burn major calories, and enhance your mood. I totally get it. By the way, this is the busiest time of year, but movement doesn't have to be all or nothing. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I literally don't have time to go for my run, I can't get to the gym, it doesn't mean you have to skip it. So even just a 10 minutes of anything, really, stretching, yoga is sufficient and absolutely good for you. A quick workout or a brisk walk can keep you on track and energized for the entire holiday season and to keep you pumped up and feeling good for all those holiday activities. There's a gal that I like on YouTube. She offers my absolute favorite 10-minute workout. The channel is called Flow with Mira or Myra. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing it. So Flow with Myra. I will link to it in the show notes, of course, along with everything else. If you want to contact me or want to get the free download or have questions for me, always pop down into the show notes. That is where you'll find me. Or go ahead and leave questions in the YouTube comments if you're listening on YouTube. It's my absolute favorite 10-minute workout, period, end of story. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do it before work if I'm feeling rushed or like maybe I had to skip the gym for whatever reason. It's perfect. And even on my rest days, it's such a great way to start my day. It's a beginner's home Pilates workout, and it just gets the job done, you guys. It's perfect. It stretches, I break a mini sweat, and I know I will be pressing play on this workout frequently this holiday season. I'll be sure to link it in the show notes. This is a great solution for you guys if you're feeling overwhelmed and you still want to maintain your fitness routine, or maybe you just haven't started that routine yet because you're waiting for Jan 1. Just start right now. Take it slow. Do this 10-minute workout and get on with your life and feel good that you got a little bit of time in for your healthy living goals. Sometimes it's just that one small step that can really get you revved up. Might as well do it during the holiday season, right? Like, don't wait. You don't have to wait until January 1. Another way to kind of survive this lack of time for personal fitness is to get your family involved. So make fitness fun by including your family in activities like walking around the neighborhood after dinners, to go see holiday lights. Maybe you go on a stroll instead of driving around. I know our routine is to drive around town to look at holiday lights, but maybe you find a neighborhood that is really packed with lights and you can go on a walk instead. Movement can also be a fun holiday tradition. So a lot of cities do a turkey trot. That's the morning or the day after. It depends on the schedule, but a turkey trot is a mini foot race or walk. They're usually only a 5K. That's about 3 miles. Families do them together, and it's a fun way to start Thanksgiving. It's a nice workout. It's a community driven. A lot of times people are pushing their babies in strollers. They have their dogs. It's not a super serious race. It's just a super healthy way to prepare yourself to eat a whole ton at Thanksgiving, or maybe the turkey trot is the day after, a great way to rehab and recoup after eating a boatload on Thanksgiving Day. So some other things you could do is throw on some music and have a family holiday dance party. You're moving, making memories, and staying on track all at the same time. So think about how you can get creative to include your family, because a lot of times we have more people in our house, right? It's not just our kids and our pets that are usually here. We might have extended family staying with us. how can we include everyone so we can kind of stay fit and get more movement in during these busy times? And you just got to get creative. Don't be afraid to ask people, hey, like, let's go on a small hike. Let's do this instead of sitting around, watching TV. It doesn't have to be big. It can be just 30 minutes. It can be just a stroll at the creek. Something simple to keep you moving and energized is really going to help you mitigate holiday weight gain, stay energized, because I know I don't know about you guys, but I get exhausted during the holidays. I love it. I get energized thinking about it right now, but it's like when you're in it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm driving a lot. There's traffic. Going to Costco is a complete nightmare. There's like no parking. It's insane, right? Like going grocery shopping, there's just more people. Everything feels like kind of confined and rushed. This is a great way to kind of calm those nerves and also keep moving so you can maintain positive vibes and energy during the holiday season. So I kind of touched on this tip before when I said, hey, be the hero that brings the non-alcoholic beverage to the holiday party. But when we are invited to parties, it's really important to kind of plan ahead. So maybe you already know what's going to be served. Maybe it's a cocktail party. But if you're in charge of bringing a dish, remember, just like the non-alcoholic drink, you are in charge of what you're bringing. Be the hero and bring the healthy dish. I like to bring veggies and hummus. We have a lot of work parties. I do like to bake, but I've kind of decided just recently, like, I'm not going to bring baked goods anymore. It's just so much sugar. How about we have a healthy celebratory snack instead? You just feel so much better after it. And you can be in charge of that too. You don't always have to bring like these heavy calorie dishes that are, like I said, heavy and sugary. Although you can, again, you absolutely can. But if you're serious about, keeping health first and feeling good through the holidays, you are in control. Don't leave it to chance. Offer to bring a dish to the holiday party, even if someone doesn't say, hey, maybe it's not a potluck, like offer. It could be a colorful veggie tray, a protein-packed dish, or even a healthy dessert option. There's so many things you guys get on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. So much inspiration there for food. It's such a great resource. Do not forget about Pinterest. This way, you're contributing and ensuring there's something on the table that supports your goals. That is so important. And of course, there are going to be other things that you can nibble on and enjoy. But for sure, you'll know that there's one thing on that table that's there for your goals to keep you on track. Another fun way that you can include the family in this one too, but look for creative ways to recreate your favorite holiday sweet treats or your favorite holiday dishes. So make a healthy version of your favorite item. So I just had these really delicious brownies that were made with pumpkin puree and honey. So they were really just raw ingredients and they had raw cocoa in them. They were so delicious and I still felt like I was having a brownie. I don't have that recipe, but I'm sure you could find it somewhere on the web. But think about how you could do that. Again, Pinterest is your friend. And instead of feeling deprived, which I don't ever want anyone to feel deprived, try recreating these treats and these dishes in a healthier way. So maybe you like to do green bean casserole. Is there a way that you can lighten that up? Is there a way to lighten up your mac and cheese? I know mac and cheese is on our Thanksgiving table many years. So how can we make that healthy? Is there a different way to prepare the turkey that might be a little smarter for your goals? Think about how you can do this. There's a lot of tools and resources on the internet. Don't be afraid. Give it a try. And include your family. If people are bringing dishes to your house, be like, hey, can you try to make a little healthier version? We're trying to really clean up our food and clean up our eating routine. And we would love your participation in that as well. Okay, I know when this drops, it's Thanksgiving week, but I'm going to be looking ahead right now to New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is often seen as a time to overindulge in drinking. It's a champagne night for sure. I am a champagne lover. We live in the wine country. We have access to all kinds of delicious sparkling wine and actually true champagne. But waking up on January 1st feeling hungover is not the way you want to start your new year. So when you go into your New Year's party celebration, or even any of these holiday celebrations, remember your goals for the new year, right? Most women listening to this, I'm assuming, including myself, I always have a health goal at New Year's time, have weight loss, fitness, and healthy living goals for the new year, right? Like most of you probably do most of the time. I mean, weight loss is a huge New Year's goal, and it is for good reason. But why start the first day of the new year feeling sluggish, sick, and regretful? Picture this: waking up on January 1st, groggy, dehydrated, and dealing with a massive headache from the night before. Hard no, you guys, thumbs down. Now think about how that lines up with this vision that you have for your new year and your goals. I know many of us have big plans for better health, weight loss, and fitness. So ask yourself, why would I want to start off on the literal day one of the year feeling behind and unmotivated? Think about that for a second. And again, I just want to make it clear, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out, you shouldn't have a glass of champagne, you shouldn't eat snacks and appetizers or all the delicious food on the table. It's just, let's think about how much we're taking in of all these things and how we can set ourselves up for success before the day one. So I want to challenge you. So choose a New Year's celebration that aligns with your goals. Choose a Christmas celebration that aligns with your goals. Choose a Hanukkah celebration that aligns with your goals. Choose a Thanksgiving celebration that aligns with your goals. And what does that mean? So celebrate in a way that supports your healthy living mindset. Enjoy a few mocktails or a specific number of cocktails. Set a reasonable limit for alcohol, or even skip the drinks entirely to wake up refreshed and ready to start the next day, and specifically to start the new year strong. Instead of indulging in that extra glass of wine or that extra glass of champagne, think about how great it would be to feel to wake up on January 1 energized and ready to hit the ground running. You don't have to overindulge to have a great time. And you'll thank yourself when you wake up clear-headed and ready to crush those new goals. I'm not trying to be a party pooper, you guys. I've already said that a couple times. Instead, I'd like you to think about what is your priority for your overall healthy living goals for the new year. Let this sink in for a second. So is your priority to feel healthy, or is it to feel hungover? I don't know about you guys, but hangovers at this point in my life are absolute hard no. Like, I do not like them. And I feel like I get sicker and older every time I have a hangover. It just sticks around for too many days. It's just not even worth it. Celebrating sober is worth it because I want to wake up feeling good. I want to wake up feeling like I can go to the gym in the morning. I have energy to make my breakfast and not just lay around like a big sack of you know what, because I decided to drink an extra 2 glasses of champagne, which that's a lot. Like you'll be feeling those bubbles if you know what I mean. So think about that. Is your priority to feel healthy, or is it to feel hungover? Same thing. Is your priority to feel bloated and puffy because you overate, or is it to feel healthy? A healthy person, someone that eats with smart nutrition focus, and that's kind of like a phrase that I've been using for many years, smart nutrition. I can get into that at another time, but someone that uses smart nutrition eats and drinks with appropriate portion sizes, and they don't overindulge all the time. So I'm not saying that they don't. I do from time to time, but they think about portion sizes and the quantity of food that they're taking in each time they are enjoying a nice meal, having a cocktail. They think about those things and say, okay, I have had enough. I got to have these things. They were so delicious, but it's time to cut it off. So my ultimate goal for you guys is to start the new year strong. So some of you may have already been working hard all year on healthy living goals, and you deserve to start 2025 feeling empowered. And even if 2025 or whatever year that's coming, if you're listening to this after 2025, you deserve to start 2025 empowered and ready to make your healthy goals a reality. The holidays are about joy and celebration, but they don't have to derail you from your current weight loss progress, and they don't have to set you back and dig you into an even bigger hole for the new year. My big goal for you guys as listeners is I want you to head into the new year feeling confident. You deserve to start 2025 with strength and no regrets. So this holiday season, let's focus on balance, moderation, and enjoying the moments without letting food or alcohol take from the joy. That may sound funny because those two elements are part of what we consider joyful and cherished experiences as we celebrate the holidays. But you can enjoy the delicious food and cocktails, but the key takeaway here is to pump the brakes on how much you're indulging. This is the year you step into your health goals like never before. And the way that you can do that is get started right now. It's just taking your time, eating slower, drinking slower, sipping slower, making decisions. Each decision you make affects the next outcome and the next decision. So if you start Thanksgiving off with a healthy Thanksgiving table, in fact, I actually love Thanksgiving so much because when you think about what the traditional meal is, it's actually quite healthy. It has all the food groups. It's high in protein. It's got a lot of good fat in it. It also has a lot of bad fat in it, but ultimately there's veggies, there's meat, there's a starch, there's a grain. We're good, you guys. That's a healthy meal. And if you ate that meal in a really nice portioned plate, you are off to a good start. So think about how you can reduce. Maybe you just put less butter on your mashed potatoes. There's small things you can do to get your feet wet and get pumped for those New Year's and weight loss goals. With that, you guys, I want to encourage you to make those mindful decisions over the holidays so you're set up for success. And let me just recap a couple things. So we talked about managing those sweets, eating mindfully, staying active, planning ahead for potential parties. So if you're going to bring a dish or ask to bring a dish, so you can bring healthy drinks and or appetizers or main dishes, and steer clear if you can of those New Year's Day hangovers. Boo on those. We don't want those. Have a couple cocktails, but cut it off, right? You don't want to wake up on day one, which is supposed to be your day of change. You want to feel good on that day. So thank you guys so much for listening to the Health Hobby Podcast. This lights me up. I can't wait for 2025 to get here. I have a lot of fun coming for you guys, a lot of great inspiration, a lot of skill building I'm going to be offering. And coming up, in the next few episodes, I'm going to do my first series. So it's going to be called Nutrition 101. And basically, I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of basic nutrition. So something that's dear to my heart is that there's a lack of nutrition education out in the American culture. And one way that I know that women specifically can be successful in weight loss is to understand the baseline foundations and fundamentals of general nutrition. So that's how to read a food label, that like literally what is a protein, what is a calorie, what is a macronutrient, what is a carbohydrate. When I first started coaching women through weight loss, that was actually the first question I got was, what is a calorie? And right then and there, I knew that there was a lack of nutrition understanding, right? We read these things on nutrition labels all the time, but do we really understand what they mean? What do the numbers mean? Like, why? What is this? So if you don't understand that, it's going to be difficult to manage your weight loss and make smart nutrition decisions. So I'm excited for what's coming after this episode. You're going to want to stick around. Make sure that you've subscribed on YouTube and have your notification setting on if you're a listener on YouTube. Also, make sure to follow and have your notifications on your favorite podcast platform so you can be notified as soon as those drop. There's going to be, I think, 3. That's what I've planned out. So hopefully they're short and sweet. I'll try to connect each concept to a daily activity or a food so it kind of sinks in, but you're not going to want to miss this because it's going to set you up for major success in 2025. And before we go, can you share this episode with your bestie or someone special who could use a little inspiration for staying healthy this holiday season? And you know the routine: questions, topic requests, to learn a little bit more about me, or to email. Scroll right down into the show notes. There you will find a link for all of those things. And most importantly, the show notes always has the quarterly free resource, which is there for you, again, for free right now. Yep, scroll right down and click and grab it. It's the Fall 1 Healthy Action Calendar, which will get you focused on health without the overwhelm. One small healthy action, one day at a time. People love this thing, you guys. Be sure to grab it. I don't literally have shelves. It's a digital download, but it like flies off the shelves like crazy. And you want to be sure that you get it because I'm going to be coming up with another item soon, so that might not be available for much longer. Go right down and grab it. It's a free download right there. It's the first link. There's also a second free download in there for you guys if you're interested. It's called Find Your Fitness Time. It's my calendar strategy so you can find time to actually get your workouts done. I know that's a challenge for busy moms. So there's actually 2 free resources right in the show notes for you guys right now. Happy holidays, you guys. And if you're listening outside of the holidays, I wish you a wonderful week. I'll see you next week on the Health Hobby Podcast. See ya.